you announced a couple weeks ago to our audience that you had a recurrence of cancer in your life.
Yep.
And I actually think that that's part of a spiritual attack on your mission and work here.
Oh,
and
I agree. I
would like to encourage all our listeners and any people who aren't our listeners that they hold you in prayer. And perhaps you'd like to give an update on your treatment. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I think I mentioned before that this is my second time around. The first time was about a month after Theron and I got married, back in 2005. Breast cancer for the first time. 12 years later, a recurrence. And things are going very well. I'm on a new kind of experimental drug. But
is there a name for that drug?
TDM1.
Okay.
TDM1 is specifically for my type of breast cancer. But I hate to say, this sounds kind of weird, but if you're going to have cancer in your lifetime, now's a really good time, because literally every day, more than once a day, there's something coming out that they are so on the verge of getting to the bottom of a lot of this stuff, and that they can go in now and turn off certain genes. They can totally map your your genomic pattern. Something new this week out of Sloan Kettering, where they 42 different types of, and I can't even you can't even keep it all straight. The information's coming so fast. So I'm very encouraged about all that. But I felt early on in this that God, through different things we don't have time to get into, but was telling me, this is not my time. If it's my time, I'm ready. But he has more work for me to do here. And it's not going to be because one of the biggest things when you get an illness like this, you feel like it's all on you to find the cure. You got to find the right doctor, and to some extent that's true. You got to be your own advocate, your own researcher, but the healing's going to come from God. And it's not like he says, I was going to heal you, Linda, but you didn't find this blah, blah, blah over here, and you didn't do this supplement, you didn't do this, so
I gave you
sorry.
Clues.
Right. So you have to, exactly. So you have to realize that your healing is going to come from the Lord, but he gave us doctors, he gave us the medicine, he gave us his creation, which is full of the food and the supplements and the things that we need to fight off the cancer, because most people's bodies, their immune system's strong enough to fight it. So you have to find out why yours isn't. So that's basically
okay.
It is just realizing not to panic over finding the exact thing that you need, that God is directing this, and there's a 3-hour story in that, but God is definitely in charge of me, my illness, my life, the mission here at WAAM, everything that we have been doing. He's led us through every piece of it wonderfully.
Well, so once again, I want to encourage all our listeners. I think it's very important that we hold Linda before the Lord and Theron and the fate of this station, and consequently the fate of the nation, because their mission
I love that. Do not bring this country to an end. Support Linda and Theron and WAAM Radio.
There you go.
That's great. And I will say this, I know we're going to take off here, but if Theron's line, and he uses it all the time, which I love, none of us are getting out of here alive.
That's right.
So the bottom line is, it may not be my time to go yet, but one day it will be. And it might not be your time to go yet, but one day it will be. So make sure that you've got your relationship with the Lord intact, right. Because the good news is God wins in the end. We know the end of the story. We've all read the book. Yep. And so it's a good ending. For those who are prepared. Right. It's a good ending for all of us if we know what the story is. So, just make sure that you're ready.
When I go, I want to go peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather, not like the occupants of his car.
Yeah. Another Theron joke. That's great.
All righty then.
WAAM Talk 1600. We're everywhere you are.
I'm Gary Wellings, Chief Editor of The Current and The Daily Drift. With today's internet environment, it's easy to get information overload. The best way to process this information and cut through the internet chatter is to get your news delivered in a concise and effective manner. Get the news you need to know at thedailydrift.com. Check out The Daily Drift, one of the fastest growing websites around. At the Daily Drift, I find the local, state, national, and international stories you won't get from the mainstream media, and I make it easy for you to link to them. You'll also get original common sense opinions from local writers. You can even get a free subscription that will deliver a link to your email inbox every day for free. You'll also get instant access to all archived podcasts of the Drift Radio Show and links